Maria Carrera, and today I'm going to talk about this book, which is The Testament, written by Jhon Grisham. Actually, I never expected to get interested in this book, but it was understandable and also pretty enjoyable to read. Jhon Grisham is an American bestseller writer, attorney, politician, and an activist, best known for his popular thrillers. His books have been translated into 42 languages and also published worldwide. The Testament is an adventure story which was published in 1999. Three reasons why I chose this book are that first, I realized that the title of this book is really interesting and also catch my attention. Second, I never heard of these authors before, but I realized that the English that the authors use is really an advanced level. So for me, it was important to start reading in English and also to try to get more vocabulary for my lexicon. And the third reason is that in this kind of books about adventure stories or legal terms, you can expect anything. So you will be surprised or disappointed, but that depends on you. So the book talks about a man who is Troy Phelan. He's a millionaire. He had 3 wives and also 6 children. So in that moment, his families were expecting him to die because everybody thought that he had a mental disease. But he was examined by some of the most famous psychiatrists in the United States because a lot of people said that he wasn't mentally established to sign a will. So Troy set up a meeting with his lawyers and some psychiatrists. He signed a new will and then he went to the window and jumped. He killed himself, and the testament should be read 15 days after his death. So Josh also knew that a handwritten testament is also illegal, and he realized that everything that Troy wrote on that testament was completely different than the ones he signed before. So the testament was not that difficult to understand because he basically left enough money for his children just to pay their debts until the day he died. And also he won't left anything to his wives because they already received enough money when they got divorced from him. And also that he will leave all his money to an illegitimate daughter who was Rachel Lane. Nobody knew about this woman. Also the short information that Troy gave to Josh. So Josh decided to ask for help to Nate, who was an ex-alcoholism lawyer. He had to go to Brazil to find her, but the problem was that nobody knew about where she was. So Nate had to find this girl because the testament would not be executed unless she signed the testament. The lawyers realized that Rachel was in a missionary which was located in Corumbá in Brazil. So when Nate arrived, he realized that Rachel wasn't living in a little town. She actually was living in the jungle. So while Nate was looking for Rachel Lane, the other ex-wives and the children tried to invalidate the will. Based on that, their father was not mentally healthy. At the end, going through all these obstacles, Nate found Rachel, but he realized that she doesn't want the money because she actually never knew Troy. Nate came back to the United States, so they decided to start the demand to Troy Phelan's lawyers because they make a deal with Nate. The deal was that Nate will give them $50 million each one in order to stop and close the case. When the case was closed, Nate had to come back to Brazil to ask Rachel Lane to sign the new will that will give Troy Phelan's children $50 million. But he found out that she died of malaria and that she left some instructions that the money that correspond her had to be given to associations that will care of indigenous people in Brazil, especially in the tribes where she was working as a missionary. So the book ends with Nate thinking about what to do with this information. If he decided to go back to the United States, it will be a huge problem with no solution. But if he stays in Brazil, he will make true the last wish of Rachel Lane. So the conclusion of the story is that money is not always everything. And also that the story ends up with an open question, because we don't know how it's going to end up, but all depends of what we can reflect of the story, or what we can decide or understand what we'll need to do. Troy decided to leave all his money to an illegitimate daughter because he knew that his children were not good enough to get the money. So in my point of view, I will say that money is not always everything, and also it can cause a lot of problems, because in this case Troy Phelan's children were fighting each other in order to get the money, and they didn't care about their father's death. Also, I want to say that this kind of books makes you reflect about what's happening in this world right now. Nowadays nothing has changed in those terms, and there are a lot of families who fight each other just because of money. So I hope you have enjoyed the review of this book, and also I recommended it to you. The meaning of the story is really powerful and is interesting and will catch your attention. Thank you very much.